Hello, good day, and welcome to another edition of Sports Check here on Ghana Web TV. My name is Daniel Ojo, and as usual, I bring you another riveting interview. It's been a very busy week in terms of the news on the Ghanaian football landscape. On Monday, news broke about Asamoah Gyan and the troubles in his family as he seeks for divorce from his wife of 5 years, and also demanding a DNA test to ascertain the fact that he is the true father of their children. As if that was not enough, on Tuesday, news again broke about FIFA's decision to hand a lifetime ban to former Ghana FA president, Mr. Kwesi Nyantakyi. Mr. Kwesi Nyantakyi has since decided to appeal the decision by the Football World Governing Body. But his critics say this was unexpected. This was not unexpected because the signals have always been on the wall. Today, I speak to one man who was an avowed critic of the Kwesi Nyantakyi administration, and I speak to him about whether or not he feels vindicated when he cautioned Mr. Nyantakyi during his tenure as FA president that he was heading towards the wrong direction. Today, my guest is Patrick Osei Agyemang, popularly known as Countryman Songo. When we return from this break, we'll delve into the conversation. Stay with us, you don't want to miss this. You're welcome back from the break. You're still here on Sports Check on Ghana Web TV. Today, my guest is Countryman Songo, the man who is the host of the Fire for Fire program, the award-winning Fire for Fire program on multimedias at Dome TV and Asempa. Patrick, thank you very much for your time. It's been a long time.
Yeah, sure.
This week has been a very busy week for a lot of followers of football in this country, but particularly the Nyantakyi story, which you have championed for many years now. When news broke on Tuesday that he has been finally banned from any football-related activity, how did you take the news?
Thank you. Well, me, it's not surprising to me. It's not surprising to me because, I mean, one would say that in a way it's sad, but yeah, for him as a human being, Nyantakyi, yeah, it's sad because a game that maybe you love to be part and you are bound out of it, it's really not the best. But I mean, it goes about whatever you reap, you sow. You understand? So I feel that, I mean, it shouldn't have traveled this far, maybe to the extent of being banned from football. At least you just leaving the scene as every president with your people, then we have different personalities so that they can also continue, our football.
What did you see? Many people talk about when Nyantakyi's name come up, your name come up, and many people say you are one of the people who tried to caution him when he was going wrong. What did you see at the time that a lot of us didn't see?
Yeah, because things were not going well. You understand? I love the game. I'm a sportsman. I know boxing, I know wrestling, I know golf and those things, but I am so much into football. So when the game is not going well, I can see. You understand? You may be the president of the association, but you may not be so much into, the game as in football. I mean, I have been a goalkeeper before throughout my childhood.
I hear you're a goalkeeper when you're in Pope John's.
Yeah, Ofori,
sorry.
Yeah, I used to be the school goalkeeper and the sports prefect. You understand? But for my childhood, I've been playing football. I used to be a goalkeeper, and I love football. I know what is football. So when the game is not progressing, or maybe when we are not getting something good out of the game, I can feel that and I can see that. And 13 years now, you can see that our local football is gone down to the drain. You understand? Look at our women's football. Even when we start from the grassroots, coach football is off. They are talking about academy, but how many academies that are working well for us here in Ghana? You understand? And when you come to the various national teams, after winning the Under-20 World Cup in Egypt, what has happened to us? But the attention is always on the Black Stars. And when the Black Stars, they are traveling, or maybe we are going for a tournament, you can look at the taxpayers' money that we take. $8 million just for African Cup, and we can't even win the trophy. You understand? These people have been there for 13 solid years. They've been to AFCON, that is African Cup, more than even 5 times.
Yeah.
And they can't even win just a trophy out of all this taxpayers' money just going waste. Anytime they go, they are satisfied as management or as football people, yeah, with the politicians and the players and the coaches. They share the taxpayers' money, but at the end of the day, we don't receive anything as Ghanaians or maybe as supporters.
But you used to be friends with Mr. Nyantechi.
I am still a friend. I'm still a friend to him.
You think he's going to consider you as a friend?
Well, if he doesn't consider me as a friend, I see him to be a friend. Everybody is my friend. I don't have a problem with anyone. You understand? I don't have a problem with anyone. It's about you sharing your ideas. I'm also coming out with my ideas. But maybe when you speak your mind and I listen, but when I speak my mind, you don't want to listen. And that is a disrespect to me. We talk about how our football sponsorship deals have been going on and off here in Ghana. When it comes to when they come out with sponsorship deal, I mean transparency, you won't see it that clear. A lot of issues about it. Now our football, our local league is not even attracting sponsors. So it tells you that the game is dead.
But many say Nyantechi himself is a good man, but he surrounded himself with people who didn't guide him properly.
Who is a good man? If somebody is directing you somewhere that is not good, can't you see? Are you blind? Excuse me, you are not blind. If somebody is directing me, I'm not a blind person. If you are showing me the way, and I can feel that the way is not that way, what do you have to do? What about the many Ghanaians? Those are a few people who have surrounded you and you are working with them. But what about the public? Because remember when we were discussing Blasters coach some time back when we want to win the AFCON, more than 30 years now we've not been able to win this trophy. Yeah. You understand? And we're discussing about why is it that we can't win, and it got to a point that we were discussing the coach. People were talking about the coach sharing the ideas. These same people come back to tell us that, you know, some people have not even attended GSS or even they've not been to school and they are asking for coach contract. Yeah. Meanwhile, the coach is paid by the taxpayer. You understand? They use the taxpayers' money, Ghanaians, their money to pay the coach. So even if the person is an ice water seller, a tomato seller, forget about whether he's been to school or not, whether he's in Thai or not. You got it. Yeah. You have to respond to the person in a very polite and a professional way.
So Mr. Nyantechi became arrogant at some point.
Fantastic, autocratic, real power drunk. You understand? He didn't see anybody. You understand? He saw himself to be, let me say, a demigod.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you make of Nyantechi's decision to appeal this decision at CAS?
That is his right, but I believe that this is about time. You have to sit down, reflect, and look for your God. You understand? In all things, you know, you need to look for your God. You let your God know that you've made mistake in life, and you want Him to bring you back. You understand? I mean, what are you fighting for? But I believe that you should look to Christ. You should go to the church where God is. You understand? And
he says a Muslim.
Well, you see, that's his problem too. You see, one person, God has created you. You have one choice, but you decide that I'm a Muslim today, the next day I'm a Christian, and that is not, to me, that is not correct. You understand? What are you trying to tell me? Yes, we are all serving one God, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, but at least you should stand out. I'm a Muslim or I'm a Christian. I mean, what they cited, watching the number 12, all was there. Yeah. Or we saw them all. You understand? The conflict of interest. When he was discussing deals with the sheikh, the perceived sheikh or whatever, I mean, it showed. He talked about it. Yeah. You understand? You know, taking percentage, making sure that everybody will be okay, will be satisfied. So FIFA, they didn't go to bring any different, you know, conversation or any different tape to come to sanction you. So he should accept it and put himself in order and just look to his God.
Okay. Have you received death threats. Some of my sports journalist colleagues have told me that they have received threatening messages after the ban saying that we are not pay someone Jimmy so.
For me, I have received the death threat in my life. You know, there's been a police statement and case being made some time back. You understand? Because I'm the fireman. Because when I see it, I'll say it as it is. Because I'll always keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
But my God is always good, and I've always been able to, you know, survive and pass through. I'm a strong believer, so I believe that what I'm doing is my God. It's God that is directing me. That's why I always say my minyanko also.
And finally, on Nyantichi, what's the status of your legal battle with him?
Well, I leave everything up to multimedia.
Okay, it's still in court.
Yes, I leave everything up to my employees.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I know my God is good.
Okay.
Yeah, more fire. I don't need anything out of it.
Okay.
To me, you understand? I mean, what is happening shows that, you know, everything is clear. You understand? And maybe if you fight on, you might, you know, get what maybe somebody else would have wished for.
Yeah.
But that is not what I want.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
I mean, you get all the riches in this world and you lose your soul. How would it benefit you?
Let's move on to Nyantichi's era is gone. There's a normalization committee.
Yeah, sure, he won't come back again.
Yes.
If anyone is believing or dreaming that, or he himself believes that things will overturn, I am not spelling doom for him, but he will not come back again. I don't think, I mean, he can recover out of, you know, this situation when it comes to recovering and coming back into football, no, but he can recover as a person and move on with his life.
Okay. What do you make of the normalization committee headed by Dr. Kofi Amwa? Their first press conference with the media was chaotic.
Yeah.
But what do you make of their work? They've been in office for the last 8 weeks or so, nearly 2 months in office.
Yes, I think they need support. You see, these people are people who are not elected, but they were nominated, or maybe like they were appointed.
Yeah.
You understand, to come and normalize our football. So they would need the support. You understand? You only have to keep them on their toes all the time in a very professional way to make sure that their core mandate, they are able to, you know, do that for Ghana, so that our football, I mean, our reforms can be fantastic. Then also we can normalize the situation before elections will be held. So they only need our support, but they should also learn from what is happening. You understand? You have to learn. When, you know, people are given position, they tend to be too much power drunk and autocratic by way of, you know, like trying to let me put it this way, walk over people just anyhow. You understand? Yeah, they tend not to respect, but in life, respect is really key. And moreover, they should be very truthful to Ghanaians.
Do you have any preferred candidates when the normalization committee, like you said, when at the tail end of their job will be to elect a new FA president? Many have mentioned names of people who were in the old executive committee to be the front runners. Names like Fred Papo, Keto Kreku, George Friye, Randy Abe have come up. Do you have a favorite in all of this, or you have an outsider in mind?
When we get there, we'll surely cross it.
Okay.
You understand? There are personalities. There are people there who can do the job. You understand? And I don't really see certain people who are working with Nyantichi. We did assuming positions or maybe taking over the FA after the normalization. I don't want to see those people. Okay. There are so many personalities around. And I'm telling you that by the time we finish normalizing situation, we'll find a fantastic president to lead the association and fantastic personalities who would also help the president to bring our football back to where our football belongs.
If you just join us, you are still live on Sports Check here on Ghana Web TV. I'm having an explosive interview with the fireman, Countryman Songo, the man we call Patrick Osayajiman, who hosts Fire for Fire on Adom TV. We've been talking about Nyantichi's ban from all football-related activities by FIFA, which was announced on Tuesday. We've also been talking about the normalization committee's work. And we've got a few minutes to wrap up, but we'll touch on the Black Stars, the Women's AFCON, and then Kwesi Appiah, who has been one of the people who has suffered in the hands of her countryman, Songo. Songo, let's talk about the Black Stars. The Black Stars are chasing their first AFCON title in about 35 years. The last time was 1982. Not many of us have seen the Black Stars win a trophy. What do you make of the work that Kwesi Appiah is doing, and do you have hope that in 2019 Cameroon will be able to qualify and be able to win it?
So sad as a Ghanaian. The last time we won it, 82.
Yeah.
More than 30 years now.
Yeah.
And people have assumed office for 13 solid years. With all this taxpayers' money, they were not able to win just a trophy for Black Stars. So sad. But we hope to break that jinx. That's all what many Ghanaians want. And that's what we are all wishing for, we are praying for. But you can't only just pray and think that God loves only Ghana. No, God is for everybody.
Yeah.
You got it. So with your hard work, look, our coach, Kwesi Appiah, should understand that we fired him before and we can fire him again. You understand? We fired him. He took us to the AFCON
the World Cup.
In South Africa.
Yeah, in 2013.
Then also World Cup in Germany. You understand?
Brazil.
And we know this coach. We know his capabilities and what he can do. But as they say, when you are growing, you are learning. You understand? So what is he bringing now on board? And that is what we are seeing.
Do you like what you're seeing?
I have not seen anything much. I have not seen anything much. You understand? Because the moment we lose, he said he was building a team.
Yeah.
With some new guys. You understand?
Yeah.
When he was winning with them, fantastic. But the moment he lost to Kenya,
Yeah.
he has to go back to the old guys. You got what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that is not, to me, a confident coach. You need to be very confident.
You need to stick with the players.
You need to stick to your plan, what you want to do for the national team. But there's one thing here. He should understand that the national team, we don't train players. That he's building a team, I don't want to hear.
The national team is
The national
reserved
team
for the best players.
is reserved for the best players. And you, the coach, you are paid that huge amount. 1.5 billion.
Old Ghana City.
Old Ghana cities. You understand? That's that kind of money. Not a cheap money. You got it. One person. Every month you take this cash and you are building what team? We need trophies. Black Stars, we have to win. You bring the best players on board. You, the coach, will also have to show to us that yes, you have the game plan. You can change things when things are difficult. Yeah. You understand? You can show us that your tactics fantastic. You've learned something that we as a nation, we want our Black Stars to show, so that when they go for AFCON, they can win the trophy. The way he goes about his call-ups to the national team, you understand? And even how he handled the players, he should be able to handle egos. Big egos, he has to be able to do that.
He's not handled the Ayew Brothers issue well.
I mean, not only the Ayew Brothers issue. You understand? Yes, if you think that some players are trying to overdo things and you want to put them to the rightful place, I don't have a problem if you want to discipline players. But at least you, the coach, you should know what you're about. You don't discipline A and you decide to leave B.
Okay.
When the same problem or maybe the same issue, and you decide to punish this one and you decide to leave this one, you got it. So he should be able to know what he wants. He, the coach himself, he doesn't know what he wants. That is the way I'm saying.
You think so?
Oh yes, he doesn't know what he wants.
He knows he has to win to get a new contract.
For that one, that is fantastic. If you can't win the AFCON, you can't get a contract. You understand? The notion of he's a Ghanaian, that doesn't come in. He's a Ghanaian, he doesn't do the job for free. The taxpayers' money, 1.5 billion old Ghana cedis, and we are paying the coach. Does he say because I'm a Ghanaian I won't take the pay? And where he is staying, it's an apartment where it's being provided by Ghanaians, you understand, or Ghana. So I don't see why we don't have to put him on his toes to give us results.
And like I said, we're winding down our interview. A few more topics to touch on before we go briefly. Songo, what do you make of Isaac Esiama? Because if the Black Stars win, he's going to take some credit as the minister. I think he's the longest who has been at the ministry for long. He's been there for close to 2 years now.
Yeah, maybe I'm sure because he's not following the Black Stars. So
he's been lucky, eh?
Yes, he's trying to put himself away from troubles. You understand?
But what do you make of his work so far? He started building the facilities, sports complexes in all the 10 regions. He said he was going to renovate the Azuma Nelson complex. They are renovating the Accra Sports Stadium. What do you make of his work generally?
Well, so far, I would say fantastic, but things have to be clear. We got to know the cost involved.
Okay. So
that we understand that you are doing a genuine job. When we want to say Isaac Esiama, the sports minister, is fantastic, he can carry on. It's all about transparency. He makes sure that whatever that he's doing, he's being transparent. Now he's doing it, but we should know the cost involved, so that we Ghanaians will be clear in our minds. That's the most important thing. But for now, I have not heard or have not seen him misconduct himself when it comes to being the minister or leading the ministry as sports, as the minister of sports. Yes, because most of them, you find them following the Black Stars because there's per diem, there's Sikadie there. Yeah, that happens to them. You go back to this man, Ayariga. You understand? When you take Ghana, the taxpayers' money for AFCON, and instead of telling Ghanaians how much is involved, you are telling us that you don't owe anybody explanation, but you are going and come before you tell us. And we also what happened. A minister who didn't play football, but when he was the first person to go and grab a Cherokee, a car. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. I want to touch on a subject that is very close to your heart. Asante Kotoko have decided that they will stop their rebuilding process and then they will go to Africa, the Confederation Cup. They have gone on to sign almost a new team with a new coach. This is your team. Will they make an impact in the CAF Confederation Cup?
No fire. Kotoko, let me say 2-4-8 the second. He is the owner of the team. And he believes that Kotoko is all about Africa. He's seen a lot of local trophies. And he wants Kotoko to win in Africa. Yes, you need to take your time, build things up before maybe you embark on a journey. But this is not the first time Kotoko going to Africa. Kotoko have won African Cup before. You understand? After all, we have teams or countries like Madagascar, if I'm right with the name. I hope I'm correct.
Madagascar, yes.
Madagascar, Lesotho and Co. All the time they have their representatives there. They will never say because when they go, they can't win, so they won't go. You understand? But this is Kotoko. And Kotoko have history. You understand? So I am not so worried about Kotoko going to Africa, even in the rebuilding process. Because I remember when Herbert Mensah took over, Kotoko was doing rebuilding, but they were able to go to African Cup finals. They won their last game 2-1 in Kumasi, but it was just a way goal that is an Algerian team or so, or Moroccan team that won the trophy at the expense of Kotoko in Kumasi. But those times they were doing a rebuilding. You understand? So the name Kotoko itself, scares people in Africa. You understand? So all what I would urge them to do is buying these players, they have to also travel with them to maybe neighboring countries like Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya.
Play international.
Playing international friendly matches because we are in a normalization
Exactly.
system.
That's the worry
now.
for a lot of people, that there's no competitive league going on.
So they can travel and give the boys some experience. Some you understand.
Let's wind down our interview. One of the players, well, one of the issues as journalists we have spoken about are players, their lifestyle, their life choices. This week, there are a lot of issues about the private lives of some of our footballers. One of them being Asamoah Gyan, who has always said that you are one of his haters. You don't like him that much. But I mean, beyond the person, what do you make of these players? And then earlier this week too, there was stories about Michael Essien and the problems in his homes.
Yes.
What do you make of these issues?
Although you know me very well,
Yeah.
I don't talk about people's personal problems.
Okay.
As in, personal life.
Okay.
I don't really love that.
Okay.
Me, as a Mojan, if you can go back, I've never discussed his personal problems before.
Okay.
I talk about anytime he comes to play for the nation. The moment he plays football for the nation, that is where I have to analyze whether good or bad. You understand? If Asamoah Gyan travel to China and I talk about it, yes, I have the right because he's the captain of the national team. I want him to be in a competitive league,
Okay.
so that he can perform, and it will help the national team for us to be able to win trophy. That is why I talk about maybe any player, or maybe I talk about Asamoah Gyan. But his personal problems, I don't really love to go in there. But he is a man. If he believes that he's doubting certain things, he can go ahead and ask for DNA. I mean, it's not bad. You understand? He knows the person that he's staying with. You understand? And he knows the problems that he's going through. And he knows the feelings that it's surrounding he Asamoah Gyan and the wife. That is his personal problem. But my problem is that he shouldn't trigger to our national team because he's the captain.
Okay.
When he is disturbed, he can't perform. Already the man is aging. Already he's out of form. To be honest.
Yeah.
Already, I mean, he's not getting playing time. You understand? Injuries are also worrying him. So, should this add up? I mean, how can he lead our national team? You understand? So, that is where my worry comes in. Okay. So he should be able to handle the house problem, so that will not affect the national team. But for me, I believe that it's about time he leaves the national team and just gives support in a way of advising to the national team, so that the other ones will also lead the national team. So we move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, Songo, what do you make of our participation in the Women's AFCON? We can't talk about all these issues without talking about the Black Queens hoping to win. They haven't also won anything in terms of the Africa Cup of Nations. We are hosting it in Ghana. Are we able to win it?
Yeah, it all comes back again to that bad administration. 13 years. Understand? 13 solid years.
Yeah.
When we talk about women football, it's Nigeria and Ghana.
Yeah, it used to be, but now we have
That is why
Equatorial
I'm
Guinea
saying
and
that.
Cameroon.
So why is it that those days we were not able to even win one African Cup with Black Queens?
Yeah.
Because they were the first
to go to the World Cup.
To the World Cup.
Yeah.
You understand? So we should have built from there, so that on African soil, at least just one trophy we should be able to win. Nigerians have won more than 8 times. So what is happening to us? You understand? I am expecting that this should be host and win. The first target, yes, we have to qualify for the World Cup. Then we have to make sure that we are in the finals to win this trophy. We have to win this trophy at all costs.
Okay.
Even if it is late preparation, they are in Zambia now.
Yeah.
From there to Kenya and South Africa.
Yeah.
And I believe that these are 3 fantastic matches that should be able to gear them up after touring Ghana, playing local teams, you understand, and putting themselves into shape. But I am also urging the ministry, sports ministry, to provide whatever they want and make sure that they sell the tournament to Ghanaians, so that we can fill the stadium and give moral support to the ladies, the queens, so that they can lift this trophy for us.
Okay.
When you have a lot of support, at least with your little preparation, you can go far. You can, go for the trophy. So that is what, as a nation, we have to do. We have to win this trophy at all costs. It's a shame that we've not been able to win this trophy because we started women football with Nigerians, and they have won it more than 8 times. What about Ghana? Not even one. Why?
Hopefully this is the year that we win it. We host and win it.
More fire.
Patrick, thank you very much for your time. It's
fire.
been an explosive interview. Thank you very much for your time. I know you're a very busy person, but thank you for your
very
time.
much.
It's been another exciting conversation with one of Ghana's famous sports journalists, Patrick Osei-Agyeman, popularly and affectionately called Countryman Songo. He's the host of the Fire for Fire TV program, an award-winning program on Adom TV and Asempa FM. It's been another exciting interview. My name is Daniel Ojo. We are back same time next week with another edition of the show. Until then, keep well.
Yeah. Oh, fine.